In your terms, probabilities are extensions and variations on the growth principle that is quite obvious in your daily reality. Now, to me, that one sentence alone is standalone. That could require a whole book to explain what it means. But I'll tell you briefly what it means. You see someone grow up, right? Growing is natural. The growth principle. Say when you're grown, do you keep learning? And you learn other skills. That's part of the growth principle. Anything that leads to you're moving closer to a greater fulfillment is part of the growth principle. It is quite obvious in daily reality. But what? Oh, probabilities and extensions, or probabilities are extensions and variations on the growth principle. So what he's saying is that there is other dimensions, literally, real places, as real as this earth, that are the probabilities connected with each thing that we are learning. Okay? Now he will teach us how to get some sort of understanding of what that means to experience these other alternative realities, these probabilities. However, it's very clear that you already know them. It's just having somebody tell you what it is you're thinking. Anytime you imagine 2 or 3 scenarios of what you can do for the next hour or the next evening, you are exploring probable realities. What we didn't know is that they actually exist. They're real, and they are natural extensions of the growth principle. And what's even more amazing is the person that you imagined yourself in those probable realities not only already exists, but goes ahead and lives in them and does the other choice that you did not make. I'm going to read the second sentence. Such growth is a natural manifestation flourishing within your particular area of actuality, observable to your senses. Again, other entirely natural manifestations of that principle exist. Some can only be glimpsed in distorted form because of other natural conditions that you cannot perceive. Probabilities involve you with a rich psychological growth and development, present but not observable in your home ground. Any kind of existence happens within the context of nature, and nature includes the soul. Your definition of nature has simply been too limiting. He goes on to explain what that means. It is natural to live after death, and natural to return the body to the earth, and then to form another. Form another what, man? Do you know, Carol?
Body.
another body. Now, the reason that I'm even doing this teaching is because this information to me is so critical and important. Because what Seth says, it is as natural that after you die, your body that you have here disintegrates and returns to dust, and at the same time it is as natural for us to move forward and create another body. The next sentence says, it is natural for your thoughts to be as quick, responsive, and alive as viruses. It is natural for you to have probable selves as well as reincarnational selves and existences. So now he's introduced the fact that what we might have been guessing as probable realities are different from a reincarnational existence. The next paragraph says, when you consider ideas as mental and apart from nature, then you feel separated from nature itself. When you imagine a life after death as unnatural or supernatural, then you feel divorced, cut off, and bewildered. Now listen, whenever you see him give you a directive, and it's starting off with "you must," he's trying to clarify this so that you can understand from his way of thinking this is the solution. You can always reject it if you want. However, if you want to try it out, you're free to do so. You must try to understand that there are different kinds of nature within nature, and a capital for the last one. Your physical life, your human nature, is, in your terms, dependent upon a time when you were not. And that's underlined. You must, and what does that mean when he says you must? It means it's a directive, and if you follow what he's saying, you have a clear path, a map to understanding what he's saying. If you choose not to, then you're going to continue to be more confused. You must realize that not being, in that connotation, is quite as natural as physical being. Your existence before and after death is as much a normal phenomenon as your present life. Now, in a very quick scenario of what he's saying is this. Before we're born, we have a consciousness, okay? A part of our consciousness chooses to become physical. It enters the physical body, and when it does, and this is the key, the soul is the spiritual aspect, the mental is a part of our natural physical body, and it is all wedded every moment, every millisecond while we are physical. So I am now my soul, I am spiritual, I am physical, I am mental. Everything that I am doing is all part of a natural phenomenon. Okay? This is what he believes. We'll stop here because actually that's the end of that session. As far as putting all this together, it's a monumental task. We had a few paragraphs that basically emphasized again what we wrote last week, which was mental and spiritual are physical. Okay. So we would have to come up with something different here to try to combine and condense down to the essence of what he's trying to learn out of this. Basically, I am natural no matter what. And we could just leave it at that for now, and we can always come back and alter it if we want to, but why don't we write that down first? The first thing we're going to find out about it is it's negative. I am natural no matter what. So let's see what we can do to change that to a positive.
I am natural.
Yeah.
Short as
yeah, it is for sure. I'm not sure it includes enough. I am natural.
Is that stating whether I'm here or there?
Yeah. I'm getting the idea that I'm, an aspect of I, may continue after death, even though we would experience it as a not being. But I don't know. Everything I experience is natural. Does that sound good?
Yes.
Well, this ran over the 15-minute mark. We have to be in 2 parts. Everything I experience is natural. Now, I don't mind if you guys come up with a better saying, and when we review next week, maybe we can change it, or if you can think of it in between, come to me soon enough so that when I make the video we can alter it. Alright, I'll give a closing prayer. Dear Lord, thank you for helping us move towards a closer understanding that all of our experiences are natural, and that all of us and the way that we think can be synthesized into a natural aspect of looking at the world. Thank you for helping me feel that my soul is embedded within my flesh this very moment. Beautiful feeling of being filled with the living Spirit. And thank you for clarifying that my thoughts are natural and they are part of me. And thank you for giving us a lot of information that over the next week we can think about and ponder and maybe